everyone, welcome back to Cypress series. So this is the ongoing page object model series in Cypress. In the previous video, we learned how we can create a page class and how to write a test class for that. In the page class, we added all our locators, added all our actions and created different methods based on the actions. And then we created our test file in which we used all the different methods from the page class. And in test class, we'll also use assertions. So in today's video, we are going to learn about Commands.js. So I'll tell you what is Commands.js and what exactly we need to put in Commands.js. Okay. And then we will see one more flow, which is add to cart flow. We will automate that also. The next thing we are going to learn about is how we can run our test case in headless mode. So headless mode means you will not see your browser showing up on the screen. So all the test cases would be running in the background. Third one, we will see how we can run our test case using a script. So we will create a Cypress script and then we will run our test case using that script. These are very important. These can be asked in your interview also, and from your framework setup also, you should know how to create a Cypress script because this is required in CI/CD pipeline setup as well. Okay. The last one we'll see is how we can create HTML report using Mochawesome. So we will generate an HTML report and we'll see all the test cases, getting shown on the page or not with the screenshot and with the videos. So let's start. So first one is commands.js. So our commands.js file actually resides under support folder. So you have the support package and inside that we have commands.js. So in commands.js, what do we put? So for example, we have this website, which we were automating in the last video as well. So this is the e-commerce website. For example, you have to automate this end-to-end e-commerce website. And on e-commerce website, you might have a lot of test cases, which will require a login user, right? You want to test a login flow, add to cart flow. You want to test, checkout flow, multiple cases which you would need to test. For example, on PDP, on product detail page, you would want to verify the prices. So for all this, one of the cases as a logged in user, if you want to verify, so what will happen? So in all the scenarios, in all the test cases, what is the common step? You have to log in, right? So it's not a good approach to create login method again and again, right? So in that case, when you have this common method, so you can create a common command in commands.js. I'll firstly explain you the end-to-end flow which we're going to automate, and then we'll see where we can use command.js and for which particular step we will use command.js. Okay, so I'm just trying to automate the login flow and then add to cart flow. So first of all, this is I'll be opening the login page. Then I'm entering my username, password, clicking on the login. Then over here, I'm searching for MacBook and then clicking on the search button and clicking on the add to cart and verifying this. So this is my end-to-end flow. Okay. But let's say, like I mentioned earlier, in your e-commerce website, if you have more scenarios for, let's say you want to do whole end-to-end checkout, and on the payment page you want to verify details, and maybe you want to create test cases for opening this different tabs, and for all the cases there's a common step, there's a prerequisite. As a logged in user, you want to log in. So in that case, our command.js will be used. So where we are using a common function, where you have this prerequisite like a login, so we can see a login is common across all the steps, right? So we'll be creating a common command for this, and for that we will create this in commands.js. So in commands.js we'll mention all the locators. So for my login, like I explained earlier, so if I go to the login page, so in the command.js, I'll show you. First of all, I'm visiting this URL and I'm entering this username password and clicking on the submit button. So this username password I have already located. So this is my email locator. This is my password locator. So everything I have passed in my command.js. I'll just show you after this one. And this is how we can make use of command.js, how we can create a common command which can be used in your different test file. So using that command, I'll just have to use cy.command name and I can use it. Okay, now let's go to the code. Let's go to the editor and see where is command.js and how we are writing it. I'll show you. This is our commands.js and how to write a common command for that. I'll tell you. So let me open it. Yes. So I have created one login command over here in which what I'm doing, first of all, I'm trying to visit a URL. So I have passed like this because I'm picking up the base URL from the config.js. So if I take you to my config, cypress.config.js, you would see a base URL added over there. So you see this one? This is my URL, which I want to pass as part of the login method. Okay. So this URL I passed in the cypress.config.js, and now in my command.js, I'm just passing like this, cy.visit. So automatically it will be picking up the base URL from your config file. Next thing is I'm just fetching the username locator, and then I'm passing some email, and similarly for the password and for the submit button. So this login command will basically what it will do. It will perform the action of login on the page, which is entering your username, entering the password, and then clicking on the submit button. Fine. But over here, if you observe, I have passed email like this as a parameter. I'm not hard coding the email value over here. Let's say you want to verify for different users. So you can pass it in your test file. Based on your requirement, you can test it for different users. That's why I have passed it as a parameter over here. I'm not hard coding the email and password. Fine. So this is our command.js. Next thing is for add to cart flow, what I mentioned in the add to cart flow, the flow is like this. I'm searching for a product, and then I'm clicking on the product, I'm clicking on the add to cart, and then verifying it. Okay, so this is for this what I have done. I have created a page class. So in the page class, if you see, in the page class, I've written all my locators, like where I'm entering the input, then I'm clicking on the search button, then I'm searching for the product, okay, and then I'm clicking on the add to cart. Everything all the locators I've passed over here, and I have created different methods also. So for searching the product, I'm clubbed two actions over here. First of all, I'm typing the product and then clicking on the search button. Then I'm clicking on the add to cart button. And then for the verify, for the assertion, I'm just returning my locator over here. I'm not performing anything because all the assertions which we should use in the test file, not in the page class. So for this one, I'm returning my locator. I'm using return over here because I want to perform further action on this locator. If it was like different other methods, you see, I'm not passing return over here because I'm just using the method. I'm not performing further action. If you want to perform further action, then you must write return keyword. Otherwise, you will get an error undefined. So let me show you my test file now. So this is my test file, add to cart. And similarly, we created an object. So same thing I already have explained to you in the previous video, how we can import the page class and how to create an object. So we have created an object so that we can access all the functions from the class. Next one is I have imported a fixture file. So test data file, this is a JSON file where I have put my all the test data. Okay. Next thing, I'm using hooks also. So in this is something new for you. So I'm using before hook over here. So before hook, what it will do? So before executing my test case, it will actually call this command, cy.login, and then it will go to the it block. So this will be executed before all of your test cases. Let's say if you have multiple it blocks also in the same test case. So before all the test cases, this command would be executed. Whatever is there in the before hook, it will be executed. And over here, you see the cy.login. So this is the same command which I created in commands.js. Okay. And over there, I was passing email and password. So this email and password, I'm fetching from my test data file. So this is my test data file. And I'm passing it from the JSON, from the test data file. I'm not hard coding over here also. If you see, it's clearly, we can see it is not hard coded. We are using it from the JSON file. And later on, let's say if you want to change something, you can change it one place in the JSON file and you can implement it in any of your class. Okay. Next one is our main test case. So first of all, we are performing the search. We are searching for product. Then we are clicking on add to cart for that product. And then we are verifying. So over here, I have used this command .should. So this is how you can perform assertion in Cypress. So it by default, it uses the chai assertion library. So we are using dot should, and inside that I'm checking if this locator contains a specific message. So this message also I'm fetching from the JSON file. I'll show you the JSON file now. And then I'm also checking the product name is correct or not. Okay, so we are verifying two things on the page. We are verifying the success message, and then we are verifying the product name also. Okay. The next thing is I'll tell you the fixture file, the data which I created. So this is a little complex data, I would say. Last time it was just a single object, but now in this test file, I've created it this way. So I can show you when you have multiple objects, how will you import it? So there are two ways. You can create separate test data files also. Okay, separate for the login, separate for the product, or separate for the message. But if you don't have that much of data, maybe you can create a single JSON file, and inside that you can create different objects. So object means, you see, this is my login object inside which I have username, password. Okay. Then I have my product object inside which I have written like this. So this is all my test data. You can create test data based on your requirement. You can pass any name over here. This is up to you. So for the login, I'm just passing a meaningful name. So in future, if anyone refers to my code, they can easily understand, yeah, this is a username, this is a username test data. So this is all about test data. We have multiple objects in a single JSON file, and how we are using it in our test file, that also I want to show you again. So this is my test file. I'll show you. So this is add to cart. And if you see, so this is test data dot product name. Earlier in the last test case, we saw we were just using first the name of that key, but over here this is an object. So in object, how we access it? We access it using dot. So this is my product object. Inside the product object, I have product name. Okay, so how will I access it? First of all, I will access test data file dot product and then dot product name over here. Fine. So this is how I'm implemented. Similar case for login also. So for login also, if I show you, so this is my login object, and inside the login object, we have username, we have password, and same way, we are accessing first of all this file and then dot login dot username. So you see over here, test data dot login dot username. So this will actually pass you the username and password from that JSON file. Okay, so I hope you understand the difference between creating a single data file or multiple data files. It's up to you, but I wanted to show you both approaches. So you should be aware. I mean, it's up to you to decide if you want to use a single JSON file or multiple, but you should know how to create. Now let's run the test case and see it is working or not. So I will rerun the test case. I already executed it before. Let's run the test case. So cy.widget is actually picking the URL from my base cypress.config.js. Then we can see over here, we have input name, password, right? And it is entering all the fields, and then we are clicking. So this was inside my before hook. So this is my before hook where I'm entering all the login details. And then this is my test body, so where it is searching for a product. On the right side, you can see this is getting highlighted. So that means, first of all, we are fetching over here the locator. Then we are typing the MacBook. And then we are fetching this search button. We are clicking on the search button. And then we are, wherever we find this add to button, we are searching for the locator over here. So add to cart button, we're clicking on that. So there are multiple add to cart. That's why I've used dot first. So it is clicking on the first add to cart. And then after that, it is verifying our success message. So you see the success message on the page. So this is where it is verifying the success message is there, and also the product is added or not. Okay, so it contains MacBook and it contains the success message or not. Okay, so this is my end-to-end test case, how I implemented for the add to cart flow. Now, next thing, like I said, we will see how we can run our test case in the headless mode. So let me clear the terminal. So in order to run the test case in the headless mode, what we have to do, we have to pass npx cypress run. So we were opening our browser and then clicking on the test case and then running it. But that time the command was different. We were using npx cypress open. But now In order to run it in the headless mode, we will use command npx cypress run. So you should know this commands also. These are asked in interview. What command is used to execute in headless mode and what command is used to open the browser and then verify the execution. Okay. So now you see the browser will not open now. Everything would be in headless mode, and over here you can see all the logs. So by default it runs in the Electron browser. So you can see the browser is Electron. I didn't pass any browser. By default it is taking. Then it is taking all my spec files. So when we are not passing over here the spec file, it will automatically run for all the test cases. So my end to end, it will search for a folder which is end to end. You see this one, and it will search for this kind of extension. Like I mentioned before, it searches for .cy.js. Okay. And with this extension inside end-to-end folder, it found 2 test cases. So if I show you again, so you see end-to-end, inside that we have a package which is test, and we have 2 classes over here. So 2 test cases are getting executed, and it is running on this browser. We have the latest version Cypress, which is 12.7.1. And now you will see over here all the logs. So it is showing you how many test cases got passed and how many got failed. So this is a table which you will see. So add to cart test and registered test, both are getting passed. Fine. So overall the count is 2, the passing rate is 1, which is 100%. Okay. So all the information you can see over here. So this way you can run your test case in the headless mode. Now the next thing is how to run our test case using a Cypress script. So how we can create a script in Cypress. In order to do that, we have to go to package.json. So where is a package.json file? It is at the root level of your project. So this is my project, and if you see package.json is this one. Here, if you see, we have a script object over here. Okay, you see this one, script object. So in Cypress, if you want to run any script, you have to go to your package.json, and inside the script object, create your scripts. So you can create your own scripts over here and then execute those. Fine. So for now, let's say I want to run my test case, only one test case, which is add to cart, and I want to create a script for that. So how will I do that? First of all, let me just create a name. So for example, test add to cart. So you can pass any name. It's up to you. Whatever name you want to pass for the script, you can create some meaningful, pass a meaningful script name over. So what script I want to execute? I want to run it in the headless mode, but only one file. So for that, what I can do, I have to use npx cypress run. So we saw what does this do? It will run your test case in the headless mode. Okay. Apart from this, what additional I'm doing, I will be passing my spec file. So in order to execute for some specific file, we have to use this -- spec, and then we have to pass the path of that file. So for example, my test data file, inside my end-to-end, I have a test package, and inside that I have my add to cart test. Okay. I want to execute this add to cart test.cy.js. I just want to run I want to execute only one test file. So over here, I will pass the path, which is Cypress end-to-end, then test. Inside that we have add to cart. So add to cart .cy.js. Let me show you again. If your path is incorrect, your test case would not run. If the name is incorrect, then also it will not run. So make sure the name, the path, everything is correct. Once again, you can check from here. So how you can find the path. So this is my Cypress. Inside your Cypress folder, we have end-to-end folder. Inside that we have test package. So this is test. The package name is test. And inside that we have this add to. It's best to copy the name directly so that you can copy the exact name and paste it in your script. So I will pass it over here. There was some additional space also. Okay. So guys, this is my script. This is very easy. If you want to create your own script, you can go to package.json and create your own customized script. So this is helpful when you're working in a team. Let's say you want to create script for a CI/CD pipeline also. If you want to execute specific test case on CI/CD pipeline. So we can create script. We can create multiple script over here. It gives us that flexibility to run specific test case or any test, whatever we want as per our requirement. Okay. So let's run the test case. Now, how we can run our script. We have created our script. This is our first step. Now, how we are going to implement the script is because we are using npm. This is built on Node. So we'll be using npm command to run any of the script. So by npm command, what I mean, if I want to run this script, so this is my script name. I'll just copy over here. Go to your terminal, enter the command npm run. So this npm run basically runs your command and whatever is the name of the script, pass over here. Now it will run the command which is there in package.json. Okay. So now if I run it, I should be able to see in the over here, you see, now it is just searching for one file. So this is my one test case. Earlier, when we were not passing the spec file, it was searching for multiple files, but now it's only one test case, and the path also you can see exact. It search for add to cart only. Fine. And in the logs in the console, you can see all the logs. My test passed, and it is in green color. So everything we can see over here, right? So this is how we can create a script in Cypress. So guys, this is very important from the interview perspective, from the framework setup perspective. In order to run in CI/CD, this is very important concept. So you should know how to create a script in Cypress. Okay. So this is just one of the simple test script which I created. As your framework keeps on growing, you will have to create multiple scripts, right? Maybe you are doing some profiling. You are adding some tags in your test case, and you want to write and you want to write multiple scripts for that specific test cases. So you can write n number of scripts over here. Okay. So this is all about creating a script in Cypress. The next thing is, so we have covered all the first 3 points over here. So the last point which I'm going to cover is how we can generate the HTML report. So we'll be using Mochawesome report. In this section, we will explore how we can generate the HTML reports using Mochawesome, which is basically a custom reporter for the Mocha testing framework, which is used by Cypress. Cypress uses Mocha testing framework internally, and for that we have a reporter which is Mochawesome. So let's learn step by step how we can set up the reporting. So let me go to the official website and we'll see over here. I have already opened it. So if you can just go to this website, Mochawesome reporter, search for Cypress Mochawesome reporter, and it will give you all the details over here. Fine. So the first step is installing the Mochawesome reporter using this npm command we will install. So I'm using this npm. We can have two ways, either by npm or yarn, but we are following npm from the starting. So I'll be using this npm command to install Mochawesome. Let me go to the terminal and clear it. So this is the command. You just have to copy the command into your terminal and click on enter. So once this is done, in our package.json, we would see a new dependency will be added, which is for the Mochawesome. So currently, if you see, yeah, it got added. Earlier, there was only one dependency, which was Cypress. But now we have one more dependency, which got added is Cypress Mochawesome reporter. Okay, so this is the first step. Second step is we have to do some configurations in our cypress.config.js. So they have already provided the configuration. So they are saying just copy this code and then you will be all set up. So you have to copy this one required because other code is already there in my cypress.config.js. So there are two lines. One is this reporter thing, and the other one is just in the setup node event, we are passing this. I will just copy this reporter part because the rest of the code is already there in my cypress.config.js. So reporter part inside above my end-to-end, I have to pass the reporter at the root level. So I'm saying this is my Mochawesome reporter. The next thing is in the setup node events, I have to pass this require. So this is basically before executing your test case, it will be implemented. So all the node event listeners are added over here in the setup node events. Okay. So this is it in the only two configuration you have to do. And in the official website also, you can see these two configuration. Okay. Next part is you have to add a single line, the import line into your end-to-end.js. Fine. So this is our last step. what we have to do, go to your support package. Inside that, we have end-to-end package, and then we will import over here. Okay, so over here you can add whenever test case loads. So this is the package, or this is a file which automatically loads before all of your test files. So before running your test file, this will be end-to-end.js would be loaded. This is the basic configuration which you have to do. You just have to install Mochawesome, go to your terminal, copy the command, okay, run it. Next thing is go to your cypress.config.js, pass these two lines. One is reporter and one is required inside the setup nodes. Fine. The next one, the last one is inside your end-to-end.js, you have to import this Mochawesome reporter, which tells your file, yeah, this is installed and this should be, this should be executed before all your test files. So this was our final step. So to generate the report, you don't have to do anything extra. You just have to run your test case. That's it. So automatically your test case, after your test case is executed, the report would be saved in the reports folder. Fine. So let me clear it. And once again, I want to show you the packages over here. So currently we don't have any reports folder. You see on the left side, we don't have any reports package. But after I execute my test case, after this Mochawesome report is will be generated, there will be a new folder which will be created inside the Cypress. And inside that, we will have our index.html. Okay. So now let's run the test case. So I'll be running the same script. So this script which I executed earlier, I'll be reusing it. So command is npm run, my script name. After the execution, so let's keep this left section open so we can see a new package getting added over here. Okay, you see the package is added over here, and in the logs also, we can see it is saying HTML report successfully created, and it is showing you the path also. HTML report successfully created, and at this path, Cypress reports HTML index.html. Okay, let's see it now. So inside the reports, I have index.html, and I'll just open it. So let me open it in the folder and let's see. So this is my report, and it got generated like this. If I maximize this one, you can see one test case, add to cart flow, how much seconds it took. It took 4.5 seconds, and no failure test case. And this is my green color, which says it got passed. Now, if I expand this one, you will see all the locator information. So inside my test block, whatever I passed, I passed this method, which was search product, add to cart product, add to cart, then the assertion. Okay. And it also shows you the recording. If I click on the recording, you can see all the recording over here, how it got implemented. So you see, this is really cool, very, very nice feature, very nice reporting. You can see detailed report over here. Fine. For now, we can't see the screenshot because by default, it takes a screenshot of only the failed scenarios. So what I'll do, I'll just make some changes in my test case and we'll make it intentionally fail so that we can see the screenshot also in case of failure test case. So let's see that. Let's go to the code, and in my page class, this is my home page class. And what I will do, this is my button. Let's say I'm passing some invalid value because I know this is a wrong value and it will fail. And in my terminal, I will just rerun the command. Oops. And in my terminal, I'll just rerun it, rerunning the last test case. So npm run this one. Now it will give us a report with a failed screenshot as well. Now it will be failed. The test case would be failed over here. So let me expand it. So now it is running the test case, and let's see. So now we can see our test case got failed over here. We can see this is failure test case, and the reporting is saved over here. So let's see the report and again verify the screenshots is getting added or not. So let me open it. And if I open it, now you see it is, instead of green earlier, it was green over here. Now we have a red, which indicates this is a failure test case, and assertion timeout. And this is a failed screenshot. You see, this is really amazing. We can see the screenshot with the exact locator. So on the left side, we can see it does not find this locator. Yeah, on the left side, it's safe. We maximize it. So 0 occurrence for this one, and the recording also we have. Let's run the recording and see. And we should see the test case getting executed. So yeah, entering the username, password, clicking on the submit button, searching for a product, and afterwards this wrong locator, we passed the wrong locator and it stopped. And on the left side, we can see there's an assertion error. Same error we are getting on the, same error we are getting over here. You can see the same error, assertion error. Expected to find element, but it didn't find that one, of course, because that is a wrong element which we passed. So this is how you can implement an HTML report. You can integrate your Mochawesome HTML report with Cypress and get a detailed report like this. It's a very amazing report. So you can have screenshot, you can have recording, and with all the locator values, you can see the locator, proper error message. So this is very helpful for debugging purpose also. If any of your test case fails, you can clearly see over here. That's it for the video. So I hope you understand. We covered different topics today. How we can run our test case in headless mode, how we can create Cypress script, how we can integrate it with the HTML report also inside Cypress. So I'll be uploading all this code. I'll be pushing all the code to the GitHub repository. I mentioned that repo in the comment section. You can access all the code from there. And if you have any queries, any issues, feel free to add the comment. And if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. Thank you.